this is Dumont, back for another Transformers comic book review, this time issue number 26, introducing the Mechanic. No job too big or too small. Okay, so we have here this character. Obviously he's called the Mechanic. He's holding some kind of two specialized rifle looking things, one in each arm, and a whole bunch of robots in the background. They look like Autobots, and they look like they're completely defeated, right? The Mechanic, what does he look like? He apparently, I think, is supposed to be like some kind of supervillain, right? But the way he's dressed and stuff, it's rather plain, so the character itself doesn't really strike interest. And then his name, the Mechanic, not the coolest of supervillain names, so what do I have to say about this issue? It read pretty smooth, some of the issues I'm reading and I'm like, okay, come on, I get the point, let's move on. With this one, it's pretty smooth. The only problem is it's not the reading, it's the storyline. The storyline for this one is probably one of my least favorites. So far, we've been introduced to two major humans that have been like a supervillain, and that's Robot Master and, of course, Circuit Breaker, the first one. Circuit Breaker and Robot Master. And they're both not real villains, Circuit Breaker obviously confused in her position. She just grew a hatred for robots, so, whatever. And then Robot Master, once again, not a true villain, whereas this one, the Mechanic, this guy, so far in this issue, he's really, really bad, He's an evil dude, I guess, but it doesn't really make sense. But let me get into it real quick. So, okay, we're back with Ratchet, and it's funny enough because the last time I read stuff with Ratchet in there, the last issues that had Ratchet, I was really, really impressed with Ratchet. I didn't care for Ratchet, and I really grew to like him. This issue kind of like reverts. It goes back to Ratchet being like very weak, not a warrior and all that, I mean, and in this one, he's like, I think I'm also a failure, not just as a warrior, which I'm not, I'm a doctor, but then I'm also a failure in the medical department. And it's just like, come on, Ratchet, we've already been through this, You're awesome. You were super brave. You basically took out Megatron by yourself when the Dinobots couldn't do it, You impressed Megatron with your, bravery and courage and all that, So after all that, you think that would give him a lot of courage and stuff? No. So this issue, to me, it almost made all that meaningless. So I don't like this issue because of that. So, okay, Ratchet basically, after Prime was destroyed, which we, in the last couple of issues, you should know that. Optimus Prime was destroyed. Ratchet's trying to fix him, can't. So now he's really upset because he feels like not only did he lose a soldier, he lost a friend. So apparently he was close to Prime. And so now they're going to do a burial service for Optimus Prime. And Ratchet decides to stay because he just can't take it. And so he's going to stay on base, and all the other Autobots take off. And remember the 13 that Circuit Breaker had? They're back here now. So what's his face? Blaster, Cosmos, Perceptor, all those people, they're here now. So it's the army has grown. The Autobot army has definitely grown. Okay, so Ratchet, he's going, you know what? Maybe I can find some things to help out, because there's some other Autobots such as Prowl that are alive, but because they've been injured so bad, they're kind of like in almost like a coma stasis, so they're just locked away. So there's other Autobots like that they are alive, but they're out of commission. So he basically goes to a junkyard, a scrapyard, and looking for parts, and he's finding parts and everything. And then there's this guy basically called the Mechanic, and police show up to catch him. And he freaks out. He's like super afraid of the police. And he ends up getting inside Ratchet. And Ratchet is just pretending to be an ordinary car. And they're getting away from the police. And Ratchet apparently, to get rid of the police, uses his laser scalpel and his cryogenic sprayer. There you go, his cryo sprayer. And so those are like the two guns right there. And the mechanic sees that, and he steals them, you know. And basically, they're about to take apart the vehicle and everything, and Ratchet transforms, and he's like, "I've had enough. I'm not going to pretend to be a vehicle anymore. I've had enough of this." The mechanic all of a sudden becomes super brave and strong, and he's like, "You know, I am master of all machines, and you're going to listen to me." And he gets Ratchet's cryo spray and the laser scalpel, and basically uses it against him, kind of. So Ratchet takes off, goes back to the Autobot base, the Ark, and this the mechanic guy follows him there, and he sneaks in. And remember, Ratchet's the only one here because, you know, all the rest of the Autobots are burying Prime, so they're not there. And basically, Ratchet and this dude, the mechanic, start fighting, and the mechanic is like so super confident that, you know, basically if he's up against the machine, he owns it type attitude. So he's basically kicking Ratchet's butt, and you know, by the time the Autobots come back, the mechanic is able to use the base's auto defense against them. So, you know, and the Autobots don't want to attack back because it's their base. They don't want to destroy the base, so they're just kind of waiting for everything to clear out. And Ratchet, with the help of Prowl, who is, remember, Prowl is not is far from 100%, but pretends to be a police officer. Police car. Remember, he transforms into a police car, so he does that for like a split second, and that freaks out the mechanic, and the mechanic goes running away, basically. You know, it's so weird, you know, that he's like that. He's afraid of police, but he's not afraid of super high-tech alien robots, you know. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, so that's the character, and it ends pretty much right there. Next issue, introducing the biggest, baddest Decepticon yet, Trypticon, and the return of the Dinobots. So we definitely don't want to miss this. Stay tuned.